rise and shine. I'm Shelby Barrett, the STONED for the STONED Roadie Show, and it's time to wake and bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
The STONED Roadie Show, podcast 139, Wake and Bake, the Morning Buzz number 22. Action.
Craig, I see you wearing a robe again, and I think I know why. It's not because any other reason other than you ain't been out of bed in a couple days, have you?
You got that right. You sure got that right, man. Yeah, I fell off the wagon on my face and had my leg tied to a rope, and it dragged me down the road for a couple of days.
Yeah, Craig wasn't on the last podcast, and we didn't do anything together on the last podcast. It's an interesting story because the night before, Craig and I, we usually talk about what we're going to do the next morning. And so I call Craig, and he's at some hoopla across the street over there. And then he's singing this song about a whore. It's him and some other buddy of his.
I fucking hate you because you're a whore.
Yeah. So he goes, we're going to go back over to the house right now and record this, and we're going to put it on for tomorrow. And I was like laughing, and I was like, yeah. And then I got to thinking about it, and I called him back, and I said, no, Craig, I'm not doing that. I said, if you're gonna sing little nasty songs like that, you're going to have to do that without me, because we do have a school teacher and, a young lady that's a stonette that we don't want to insult by having some nasty song. But I got a feeling you're going to hear it one day. But anyway, Craig, is that
I could relate to that song. I had a couple of those. Two out of five ain't bad though.
It was actually kind of catchy, but
it was a great song, man. The way it's real dark, man. I can see a video to that song. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, maybe we can put it over on the Griff Martin files and see how it does. But anyway, is that robe that you got on? Is that a robe that you acquired, or is that just your regular house robe?
I think my stepdaughter bought this for me for Christmas. I think.
So it's actually a legitimate rose.
Robe. I think Christina bought
a legitimate robe
for Christmas one year. Thank you, Christina.
Cool. Yeah. So anyway, Craig, he's been kind of on a bit of a stupor for about 2 days now, right, Craig? You
yeah, I've been in bed for 2 days.
Yeah, but Craig says he doesn't ever throw up.
No, I don't throw up.
Yeah. No. Well, I tell you what, man. If I'm drinking tequila and I go lay down, that's the first thing I'm gonna do is throw up.
It was good tequila, I guess. Yeah, I started drinking. I just went over there, and the guy was drinking some Crown Royal apple, and they asked me if I wanted to drink. I said, no, I don't drink anymore. And then they said, oh, come on. So I had one. I said, man, that's pretty good. So
at least you're back
a bunch of that. And then that guy, that ran out. So he said, I got some really good tequila. I said, yeah, why not? Oh my God. Yeah. And then he started singing that. The more tequila I drank, the better that song sounded. And he's wanting to do a podcast. He's a musician, and he knows all the local talent around here, him and his wife. So she's a florist, and she's the one that called me when she said they were stealing my gator, told me.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, she worked in a florist all her life, or for a long time anyway, so she quit that, and they've kind of started their own business.
Well, when she called you, had they already stole it, or were they in the process of it?
Yeah. She didn't know my number offhand, so she called my other neighbor and asked him, and then she called me. She go, Fred, there was a trailer down there, and two guys got off of it, and one of them walked up your driveway, and they came driving down with your gator, and they put it up on that trailer real quick, all that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they'll get there.
They were.
You don't steal from a
It wasn't the
disciple.
first time they'd done it. Obviously, they were.
Yeah,
Practice makes perfect. Yeah, they were good at it.
they've been casing you out.
I think there was a gang from Youngstown. There's a gang coming either Cleveland or Youngstown.
Yeah, the old Youngstown gang. Well, anyway, the the Oliver Anthony concert was really cool, and it was kind of like a last minute thing that Joey Davis called me up and said, "Hey, man, you want some tickets? Get down to the will call at the Strawberry Festival in Plant City, which is 45 minutes from my house." And I took a buddy of mine with me who he's never got to go backstage and see anything cool like that. So he really thought that was a cool thing to do. And we got to talk to Chris Lunsford, who's Oliver Anthony, and he's so cool, and signed some stuff for me that we're going to auction off for the survivors, which, that's what we do. We try to work for those guys, and we always think about them. And actually, some of that stuff came out of that the Dobro that we acquired, and I've got some stuff that when we put that on bid, we'll have Oliver Anthony and Joey and their bass player signature on it. So like some of the strings and the insert that manual for the Dobro. So got Oliver Anthony's signature on it, which is really cool.
Oh, you didn't ever tell me that. You got that.
Oh, I
signed.
didn't tell you that. I think I did.
Well, yeah, probably because I've been in bed.
Yeah. So yeah, that was some cool stuff we got signed. And then that Strawberry Festival, I used to go there in the 70s, and it was like a dirt field with a stage on it. Now it's this big, huge stadium. I couldn't believe how great it is. And I think ZZ Top's going to be playing there, and Foreigner is going to be playing there. Lou Graham's coming there this week. If they haven't already come, they're going to be.
Is he Foreigner now? Did he take over Mick?
No, it's Lou Graham.
Lou Graham, yeah.
Whatever band he's got together.
Got to watch your information here. We can't get
I know
misinformation. There's enough damn misinformation going on around these days.
Speaking of which,
Stone Roadie show.
Some misinformation that you can blame on me was I've been getting several messages about giving out the wrong email for Craig for the contest.
I did the same thing. I had it back here on my green screen.
So put it up, Craig, so everybody can see the real one.
Yeah, it's just the Stoned Roadie at gmail.com.
No, it's just Stoned Roadie, not the Stoned Roadie.
No, it's the Stoned Roadie.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
See, we don't even know what we're talking about.
The Stoned Roadie at gmail.com, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, well, seemed like I just put it up there. And
the Stoned Roadie at gmail.com, and then there's my post office.
Okay.
But I'm kind of getting away from using my post office box. I'm getting too much paper, man.
So you've been getting a lot of entries then. Some people have
I've been getting
so you got
I ain't been to the post office for 2 days, so I went Sunday and checked my post office.
So if you guys want to get in on the next giveaway, which is the stickers and I think a poster and what else, Craig? Is
the Rossin and Collins band sticker, the Lynyrd Skynyrd Clayton, the one that Clayton sent me, that sticker, and
kazoo,
and then the a kazoo, $100 bill, $1 million bill, and then we got the Griff Martin painting, and then I think we decided to give away one of those our disciple Dave, one of those Fox things. So yeah, we got a whole big package going on this time. Yeah, you're not gonna want to miss out. Your chances are pretty good. They're a hell of a lot better than winning the lottery or anything. I think we probably got maybe 50 or 60. I don't know. That's pretty good odds.
Yeah, and just think if we'd have sent out the right email, we'd had more. But sometimes you.
And I just hope one of our friends don't win it this time.
Yeah, that would be
getting,
3 in a row.
It's getting ridiculous.
But back to that Oliver Anthony thing, and some of the comments really great about Oliver Anthony, and some of the comments too about Kent Griffith. You guys are really loving that Kent Griffith. He's man, that guy's he's an awesome guy. He's just got so much cool stuff, and he's donating so much stuff. Speaking of which, he sent me this FedEx package, or it's a United Postal Service package, and it's got it's got a DVD in there of some music from Alan Collins that virtually never been heard before by too many people. I think it's his last recording in a studio. Steve Reynolds recorded him, I think, with a boombox, but this is like a studio recording, and I believe it was his very last one that he ever did. So I'm going to be putting that on here pretty soon. But we've got another Kent Griffith Part 4 at the end of this. So you guys want to stick around. We go to like some really cool places that used to have some gigs, and showing some more pictures, and an interview with a guy that used to work on some of the amps and things for Alan. So really cool on the road with Griff Martin and Kent Griffith. Then I had one guy say, "Hey, Griff, you're making me kind of sick with that camera, man," which I apologize because, I get so comfortable with that camera. It's just like an extension of my own eye, and I get too comfortable and I don't realize it's moving. So I'll work on that. I'll try to keep that camera still so it don't make you guys sick. I was looking back at it and I was thinking, oh, wow, it's pretty shaky, but it is what it is,
We'll have to get you one of them things you hang on the front that makes it still like professional.
Yeah, an image stabilizing.
Oh yeah,
it's got a gyro in it. Yeah, yeah. Anybody wants to donate me an image stabilizing camera with a gyro in it? I'll tell you. And this is what I use. This is right here is what I use. It's a high definition camera, and it's got really great focusing capabilities on it, and it's high resolution. And every on the road with Griff Martin I've done was done with this little camera right here. I don't like the GoPros because you can't really
you can't zoom with them. They're fixed
with it. Yeah, so I'm probably due for a new rig, something a little more professional. So I'll work on that camera shake. Craig, did you ever know a guy that was security before Gene called Robert Delgado?
Yeah, Roberto Delgado. Heck yeah, I did, man.
Oh, it's a Roberto
Delgado. Yeah, man. He's real cool. He lives down in Mexico, and I talk to him quite often. Yeah, I asked him to come on the show. That dude, man, he lives down on some beach down there. They barely have any internet down there where he's at. They have got surfers and stuff down there, man. Yeah, I don't know where he lives. It's a real cool place down there in Mexico, somewhere on the beach. Yeah, he has no interest of being on a podcast.
Is he a Mexican guy?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Roberto Delgado. He's the one that was on the Dean's painting on the wall. Says Delgado's Hot Pizza. He's got flies buzzing around his head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there was a guy in the comments that said, "Hey, get that Delgado guy on."
Man, I've asked him a bunch of times. I got a picture. I'll next time I'll load up a picture of me and Gary and Roberto Delgado. Yeah.
So what was he?
Man, he was from Peter Rudge. Peter Rudge found that guy. He did. He was a Mexican promoter for a while, and promoted a bunch of Mexican bands, and yeah, but I guess he got out. I guess he got out of it because he's just kind of like retired and living down there on the on a beach down in Mexico somewhere. He has no interest.
And he was security. He did Gene's job.
No. He was man. That guy did everything. Man, he was really cool. He was almost like a dean. Man, he was like an entertainment director almost. He was just like a dean. Dean just got so busy he couldn't. Dean was kind of a partier and he couldn't keep up. So they kind of got somebody to help with Dean, and yeah, he kept everybody entertained. Yeah, he on the airplane he was like the steward, man. He made everybody sandwiches and stuff. Yeah, he was real cool, man.
Well, why did he leave?
I don't know. Probably a money thing. I don't know. It's all about money. It's always all about the money, man.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why a couple of those guys got fired because of the money.
I know, but like I said, he was a Mexican promoter. He might have started doing something and had something else to do. It's hard to say. I don't know.
Oh, one thing I didn't mention when I was there backstage with Oliver Anthony, and he came walking up. I forgot to talk about how big that dude is. That guy's like, must be 6'6". He's just a big dude, and he walks around barefooted, and but then right before he comes on, he puts the shoes on. But he's like a Ronnie, he's just kind of walks around barefooted, country boy. So he's a cool guy. I really enjoyed that, and I just want to thank those guys for inviting us and allowing us to record. And but back to those comments, a lot of people watching that Kent Griffith and all those pictures, and they're like, man, with all those pictures, you could like make a book out of that. And so I'll talk to Kent about that, but I think he's going to donate all those pictures somewhere up there in Jacksonville, which he's already donated a bunch of stuff already. And then another person says, Craig, those extra large shirts that you're getting, just keep them because you might grow into them. Which I thought was pretty funny.
I hope not.
Which, Craig was talking.
I don't eat enough to gain any weight.
We were talking.
I have gained some weight. I'm pretty stable, about 165 right now, and I'm heavier than I actually want to be. Really, I want to be about one. I was 157 in the plane crash. I like being around 155.
And we were talking about that guy that came on and made a comment about your eBay item that you had up. It was actually my eBay item that you were selling for me. And the guy says, yeah, that's disrespectful, selling plane crash parts. And it wasn't even plane crash parts. It was Hell House pieces. It was a piece of
he said it was pathetic. He said you're selling airplane crash, making money off. He said, insinuating that I'm making money off the airplane crash, and he says that was pathetic.
Yeah, and you went to look him up, and you said he doesn't even have a picture because he must be fat.
Well, my philosophy is if you're doing anything on the eBay or on the internet, and you're doing something on the internet like me, on my eBay site, there's my picture. This is who you're dealing with. And if somebody's on there and they're not proud of the way they look or whatever, they're going to show the picture of his thing. He sells razors. I guess he's pretty good at it. I mean, he's sold like 2,800 feedback thing, and looks like he does a pretty good business, But he doesn't like me for some reason, He said me selling things to make money off the plane crash, that I was pathetic, But I got people all the time begging me to sell them guitar picks, slides, and something that was Ronnie's. My God, if I had stuff that was, I got people all the time that would dive for something for a run. It's like doing this podcast. You think I really want to spend time? I'm retired, man. I don't need to do this. It's just I kind of feel obligated because I'm kind of almost as close as you're going to get to being with a Lynyrd Skynyrd band member, except for Artimus. He's the only one around, but me and Alan and Gary and Leon and Billy and Ronnie, and I was best friends with all those guys, so I was, all that shit that went down, I was right there with them, so yeah, a lot of things I used to know, I wish I remembered more than I used to, but I was on that plane crash, so I got some brain damage, but that guy, it's like some people just don't like me, and they're either, my philosophy is they're either fat or they're a Democrat, and I would rather have, if my friends were money, I'd rather have $1,100 bills than 20,001 singles, it's, you'd have more with the 20,000 singles, but you'd rather have, or the real one is I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, but as far as friends go, because everybody knows I kind of insult a lot of people, when you're talking about obese people, you're talking about 80% of the population, and when you're talking about Democrats, you're talking about 37% of the population, or 37% of the population approve Biden. If you can believe that, my God, but they closed down the insane asylums a long time ago, and there's a lot of crazy people out there,
Well, they're sending a lot of new ones over here from other countries right now, so we're getting the whole country.
Well, they're just voters, but anyways, you were going to. But anyways, yeah, they're making. Yeah, but I'm selling 2 things. I was selling that shadow box that was yours, and I'm selling the Hank Williams Sr. Newspaper clipping that belongs to cousin Figel, and
neither one has anything to do with the
plane crash. Yeah, and they're complaining that I'm pathetic because I'm selling things off the plane crash. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So, I kind of asked him, I wrote him back and I kind of asked him, I says, because I don't mind the tribute band. Actually, I like those guys. Damon, and of course I like Johnny and Ricky and Michael. I worked with them, and I don't know Peter Keys, and I don't really know Damon. I've talked to Sparky a couple times. Of course, he was with Charlie Daniels and stuff. But I really don't know Damon. I think I talked to him momentarily down at Gary's, but that was so weird. I don't really remember it, and I don't know the bass player at all. But no, I like those guys, and I hope I know their tours going. They got gigs coming up and stuff. But there are some people that say, man, those guys should hang it up. They shouldn't be making money off of dead people, and
oh yeah, it's always going to be somebody.
You can't please everybody, but I'm not one of those people. I think Damon and all those are doing it for a good reason, and Sparky and Johnny's just up there doing what Ronnie wanted him to do, sing those songs, keep it alive, and Ricky's been with him forever, So, and Michael and Damon, they were with the damn Yankees, and Ben Muscat, they've got a lot of good musicians up there with them, And Damon, he was with Alice Cooper, and God, all kind of.
Well, they're definitely professionals, and they do a good job. But of course, Gene don't have much good to say about them.
But then I did ask him, I said, what do you think about that? Do you think how do you feel about that? And how do you feel about them? I wouldn't have to sell anything off eBay if a certain person wouldn't have stole my films a long time ago to make Freebird the movie. I could have made $1 million off those, and I still can. People are still bugging me to see my films, and if I was really motivated by money, I would have wrote a book and I would hurry up and put those films out. But do you see those films coming anytime soon? Yeah, I'm going to put them out pretty soon when I feel like it, but I'm just not motivated right now.
That reminds me, you still got that one film of the hot rod that you're supposed to.
Oh yeah.
Did you take that down yet?
No, I still got to send out everybody's stickers. God, I got too much stuff going on, man. God, I got income. My tax guy's going, oh, how am I going to do this with all this money you got covered in? Oh, and I got that going on, and I got property taxes, and I got all this other stuff.
Well, you know what? What's the donations? Did we get anything else?
No, I ain't been to the dang post office for 2 days. I've been in bed.
That's
But
right,
no,
yeah.
that's it. I went Sunday and there was nothing there Sunday. But yeah, that's as far as that goes. But yeah, but then I asked him, what he felt about the survivors. Not, you think somebody would be on the Lynyrd Skynyrd airplane crash. Well, they're rich, God.
That's what everybody thinks.
An airplane crash. Oh my God, everybody on there has got to be a millionaire. Au contraire, oh mon frere. There's people are out there hurting and having to pay their own damn medical bills. They were taken care of until they were well enough to go home, and then, and that's, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like it's wrong. I mean, I'm a little impartial because I was on that plane, but yeah, that's bullshit, man. All those people should have been taken care of. That's a traumatic thing to go through, mentally, physically, emotionally, and every which way you can think about it. So how do you feel about that there, Razors and more? How you feel about that? Because I told him I was going to talk about this on the next podcast, and I want him to write me back, and I want him to say how he feels about those questions, since I'm pathetic for selling stuff off the airplane that people ask me to do. Just like they ask me to do this podcast, There's people that don't want me to do this podcast too. They say I'm a son of a bitch for doing this, and you know why. And there was people that said I was a dirty bastard for selling Gary Rossington's funeral brochures that have brought up $4,000 for the forgotten survivors. How you feel about that there, Razors and more?
Yeah.
Well,
I
hate you. You're a fucking whore.
If he is a liberal, you might as well just go talk to the wall, because it's the same thing. Because those liberals don't listen.
I got at least 100 friends that I don't need no more. So put that in my pipe and smoke it.
And back to some more comments. So you had one guy, he was talking about the here's the guy that drew the cartoons. He said, thanks for showing his cartoons of the guys in the band.
Oh, yeah. Those
what, you remember his name?
Thanks for taking the time to draw those. That was, pretty creative.
Can you remember his name, Craig?
God, this morning? What time is it?
Sorry about that, buddy. But yeah, those were good drawings. They were great drawings.
Right.
And, yeah. Oh, what's this other thing? Another question. Oh yeah, every now and then we like to talk about flying saucers, and a lot of people are seeing more and more flying saucers. And there's a guy on a comment says, "Yeah, he's his name's Homer Hancock, and he says he been seeing flying saucers up there near Moody Air Force Base here lately." So I don't know what the government's up to, but I think they're trying to prep us for some little Martian attack or something that a lot of stupid people are going to believe. But but anyway.
Don't you believe in Martians?
Well, I haven't seen one yet, and I'm a kind of guy, I don't believe anything until I see it. And but not saying that it isn't possible.
I think
But
there's a bunch of people running around from Uranus.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of Uranus people out there. This one guy, he goes, I agree with Gene Odom, and he says with Craig, that's what 50 years of heavy marijuana use will get you. Anytime we go anywhere to an event, Craig will get up there and he'll start talking on the microphone, and he'll just be going on, and Gene will walk up real. You'll see Gene maneuvering himself around the stage, and then he'll get up on the stage, and then he'll butt into Craig's microphone, and he'll go, "That's what 50 years of heavy marijuana use will get you." Didn't somebody ask something about? Oh yeah, you don't want to mention their name, but they said something about they would pay Artemis to come on the podcast. And what'd you say about that, Craig?
Oh, I've asked Artemis about it before. He just said he didn't think it'd be a good idea. Uh,
Yeah,
and I just leave it at
I mean,
that.
I don't think it's out of the question and impossible because I do have people that I know that talk to Artemis. I actually have Artemis's phone number, but I would never call him and ask him. And
Oh, I have his phone number. Well, I'm still
yeah,
got my son Chad still talks to Chris and Marshall. No,
yeah.
we still communicate. It's just he doesn't feel like it'd be a good idea.
Yeah, he gets one,
His prerogative, you know.
if you say something a
He
little
knows
bit,
I'm a strong Trump supporter, and I think he's a little bit liberal.
no, you think he is?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh man, that might be the whole problem there. Then who knows? Then our little buddy Grady Tooney that we've been watching on Facebook, he's kind of like a little prodigy, like Zach, but he's like younger than Zach. He's 15 years old, and I wanted to go ahead and mention him because he's trying real hard to get a little song together, and so we can put it on the Stone Roadie show and have him on and as a guest and everything. And he's working real hard. He's a really driven kid. We like to help these young artists that are learning and they're trying to get some experience. So Craig's very sympathetic about that, and we try to help these guys out, which we haven't heard a whole lot from the Lanes lately. They've been locked in their room doing some originals. I heard they've got like about 7 or 8 originals, and they've
Well,
got
oh gosh, Savannah. She had to
yeah.
get feet. She had to get her foot. She had some problems with her feet, both feet. She had to get one of them broken. Had to break all the bones in it and put pins in her thing because she had some
Yeah,
kind
she
of.
was actually in pain the whole time that
And
you
then
saw her on stage. She was suffering. Yeah,
she
with her
was
feet.
she just got in a boot and is able to move around. And then when she gets able to function with this leg more, that they got to break the other foot, and then she's got to go through that again. So she'll be down for a few months.
Yeah, so she hasn't been able to make the trip down there to practice with those guys, but they're still playing. I don't know if they're doing any gigs, but I think they might be taking a little time off and try to write some music. I talked to Zach the other day. I finished his painting that I painted for him and mailed it to him, and called me up and told me how much he appreciated it. We know we love those guys and we miss them. And whenever they get back with something, then we'll put it out there again. Craig, I got like a major storm rolling in here and lightning popping. So that's about all I got on here. We got a pretty good on the road with Griff Martin over at Kent Griffiths after this. So unless you got
Oh,
something.
okay. I didn't want to be a blabbermouth. I didn't know you had something going on at the end of this.
Yeah, we got that part 4 at Kent Griffith. And I think we're going to have another couple parts after that because I covered a lot of stuff over there with him. And then of course I've got this disc that he sent me, which has got a lot of cool skin formation on it. And then I've got this whole stack of discs that he gave me that's got nothing but photos and songs and stuff that a lot of people have never heard. And then he's invited me to come over again, and he's got even more stuff to go over. So that guy is like a wealth of knowledge. And then we still haven't even tapped into Brandon Campbell yet. So we got a lot of great stuff coming up. Still going to keep my promise too about Steve Gaines. There's a little special surprise I think that we're going to be able to tell you about here coming up in this summer, revolving around Steve Gaines. So more great things to come on the Stone Roadie podcast, and I'm sure Craig's got several antics that he's going to be doing that we can always talk about. Like,
Well, we haven't talked about
neighbors.
when we're going to end this drawing, and I don't know. I ought to draw this one out a little bit. I don't know when the next one's going to be. These things are a handful.
I know I've been going to the post office a lot, man. Every time we got to, send something out or, for stuff, and Craig's mailing stuff out and having to pick stuff up. It's hard work doing a podcast just 3 days
Yeah,
a
it is.
week.
It takes up time, and
Yeah.
it's been winter time here, and it's we ain't had no snow or nothing. I just been, not had nothing to do, but summertime's coming, man. I got 8 acres here. I gotta take care of, man. That's a lot means a lot of time sitting on that John Deere.
Yeah, and I finished my boat finally. I call it Bad Company 2. One guy I posted on Facebook. There's no other bad company. There's only one bad company boat. And I was like, yeah, that's why this is Bad Company 2. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take Gene Odom out in it fishing, and I'm going to record it. And
Now, is that TOO or two?
well, when I had our Dave the Disciple, he sent me the stickers, which I have around here somewhere. I was going to get him to redo those because they're kind of big. They're like really won't fit on my boat anywhere. There's not enough space. It's not wide enough. So I'm going to have to contact him. But yeah, it's Bad Company. It could be 2, TOO, or it could be
TOO.
2.
I think that'd be cool. Bad Company 2.
Yeah, that's kind of quirky.
Also, instead of 2, it'd be
Yeah, and that thing's running like a scalded dog, man. I had that outboard going.
You put the wrong oil in it, though.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't get a hold of my mechanic, and he told me what oil to put in there, and I just went down and got what I thought would be good enough, and he said, "No, man, don't use that anymore." So I didn't run too much through it, but yeah, I'm gonna get Gene on there. Gene's chomping at the bit to get on that boat, and
Yeah, you got to run special oil in my Yamaha Banshee too. You just can't run 2 sides.
Yeah, this has to be marine oil for, a large water cooled engines, which, that's a 2-stroke, and it's a 1978 Mercury. And the guy said, "Man," I go, "how long is this going to last?" And he asked me how old I was. I said 64. He goes, "Oh, hell, that thing will be running long after you're dead if you keep it serviced right, so that's nice to know." But we probably only got the life of a dog left in us anyway, right, Craig?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so if I got a dog right now
I got a lot more behind me than I got in front of me. That's for sure.
If I went and got a dog tomorrow, we could both die at the same time, or he might outlive me. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. I got longevity in my family. All my sisters are. I talked to my sister Gail. She's pushing 90, and she's got a better memory than I do. She's smart as a whip.
Yeah, then earlier today, talking about the dogs, you had Wicker and Leon outside yelling, "Get in here! There's a hawk out there."
Oh God, yeah, a hawk could carry Leon.
Oh
Right
yeah,
away.
Leon's a little tiny thing.
He's only 5 pounds. It'd be tougher to get Wicker up. He's about 12 pounds. But yeah, Leon, man.
Oh yeah, he would. Leon's the one that got kidnapped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that poor
He's
Leon.
only
Leon
five
gets
and
picked on, just like the real Leon, huh?
this Leon here, yeah, he's just little. Hawk could pick
He's
him.
the one. I was over at Craig's house, and Craig had this pipe, and he goes, "Where's my pipe?" And I said, "I don't know, Craig. I haven't seen it." And he says, "Leon, where's my pipe?" And I was like, "Leon ain't gonna take that damn pipe." And he's like, "I'm telling you, Leon took it, right?" And so he got him another pipe, and he was using it. And I look over, and there's Leon chewing on the pipe on the floor. It's made out of stainless steel. So he is a little thief, isn't he, Craig?
Oh God, yeah. If it hits the floor, these guys got it, man. Yeah, yeah. My buddy had $100 bill that fell on the floor. We couldn't find it. I found it in the next couple of days. I found it out in their bed.
I remember when John Neal and we came up and stayed with you there, and John lost the keys to his car, and he thought you lost them, and you just walked off. Craig just walks off. He goes, "No, I didn't lose them, John." He goes, "You had them last, Craig," and Craig goes, "No, I didn't," and walks off. And so me and John are looking for these keys, and finally we found them somewhere. But yeah, we thought Leon took them for a little while.
I don't know.
That was the day we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame up there
Yeah.
at the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of people want me to take them to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't want the Stone Roadie to take him down to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? That's like like
I got all kind of people want me to take them there this year.
Yeah, Craig don't mind, That's where when I went up there and Craig had an extra ticket because this guy was supposed to meet us and he didn't show up, and I said, "Well, give it to that girl over there," and Craig goes over and he says, "Ask her." He goes, "I got to get your name so they can write it down on your little thing on your wrist," and so she told him the name, and then he goes over there and he goes, "What was your name again, little girl?" And I said, "Bingo, that's where Ronnie got that from." And I got to hear it right there. So.
All righty then. Yeah, let's cut this jibber jabber and get into Edward Griffith. That's what people want to hear.
Kent Griffith.
Yeah, this has been podcast 139 and episode 22 of the Stone Roadie Show, and cut.
Okay, I just put a fresh battery in, and you got something here of interest right here. This might make Craig a little jealous.
Hey, Craig, I went to the Alan Collins funeral, man, and just like you, I grabbed a whole stack of them, okay?
Here we have
But I think mine are worth more money, to be honest with
Alan
you.
Collins Memorial Record.
This is his funeral.
For friends
Sure.
and relations. This is Alan Collins' funeral brochure, which Craig grabbed some of Gary's,
And Kent grabbed
and
some.
Kent grabbed some of Alan's. It's the Lord's Prayer. How cool is that? And then it has some more information over here. Alan Collins, born July 19th, 1952, Jacksonville, Florida, died January 23rd, 1990, Jacksonville, Florida, services 2 p.m.,
Friday, January 26, 1990. Chapel, clergy, Dr. Paul Wren. Interment, Riverside Memorial Park.
And here's Deborah's.
And this is Deborah, the girl that was with Alan, that was killed in the car wreck.
I'm going to tell that story soon because I got the Bad Company tape that day. And do you know that when I went to this funeral, I was sitting in a truck with Steve Reynolds. He was driving.
Wow.
We actually got into an accident on the way to this funeral. And I remember when we pulled into the cemetery there on Normandy Boulevard, there was a cop standing out there, you know, that was waving everybody to come in, you know, to keep moving, keep rolling into the cemetery, don't stop kind of thing.
Yeah.
And as we're driving in, I could hear parts of his Steve Reynolds truck dropping off into the street and tinkling, you know, parts of the headlights, the glass was falling off. And the cop's probably standing there looking at us with a smashed in the front end of the truck, you know, and the windows cracked, you know, from our heads hitting the windshield. And we're pulling into the cemetery, and the cop's looking at us, and all this shit's falling off the truck in the middle of the road.
Well, how did you go to Deborah's
I
funeral?
did. I went to both of them. Yeah, I went with Steve Reynolds for that one.
But, I mean, you know, Alan's was long after hers, so just out of respect to her, let's read Deborah J. Watts. In memory of Deborah J. Watts, born October 25th, 1954, Jacksonville, Florida, died January 29th, 1986, Jacksonville, Florida, services 12:30 p.m., Saturday, February 1st, 1986, chapel, clergy. It's almost like an identical funeral brochure to Alan's.
She's in the same cemetery.
It's
too. Yeah.
was several years apart, so. Tom Dowd.
Yep. Me and Rick Broyles went down and videotaped Tom Dowd before he died. This is sitting on his back balcony videotaping him. There's a little snippet. We have like 4 hours or more. We videotaped him for days before he died. And he's on oxygen here, but there's only 2 people on this balcony. Rick is right down the rail on camera, and I got my back to the wall because I'm kind of scared of heights, so I wasn't sitting near the edge like they were. But I was sitting with my back to the wall. And this is some of the stuff right out of Tom Dowd's house. He was on the Manhattan Project, you know, atomic bomb project.
Oh, wow.
And this is his Department of Defense card that he had.
Just for those that don't know who Tom Dowd is, you want to give us a little backline on Tom Dowd?
Well, Tom, he was an engineering genius, you know, and he didn't want his life efforts to be used towards the creation of a nuclear bomb that could destroy humanity. So him and Albert Einstein and others left the Manhattan Project, and he took his engineering ability and made recording studios and started making music. He built the first 8-track recorder. He built a second one and was the first one to synchronize 8-track recording. He recorded the Beatles in stereo live for the first time ever. They'd always been recorded in mono up until Tom Dowd got in there, you know?
Yeah.
And he was just a genius. Oh, shoot, we're supposed to go get Jeff. Can you put that thing on pause?
Okay, we got a phone call from somebody. We're going to go pick him up. It's kind of like a special guest. We're going to go get him, and we're going to pick up a thumb drive so we can load some files on it so we can bring you guys more skin information. So this will continue soon. Okay, we're on location right now at where Fern Park Station used to be. A lot of wind blowing across here. So actually, let's step back in the car.
Okay.
And you can tell us, we can see it from there. So what are we looking at here, Ken?
I'm going to back up so you can see it a little bit better, okay?
Okay.
Let Jeff get in the car.
I mean, I spent a lot of time right here in this place.
Let me back up.
Which is...
This parking lot's about all that's left of it.
This is about where the stage was.
The stage is right there. This was the entrance right here. They had a covered canopy. You know, you walk in, you park, and you walk in the club. The bar was in the center in the back there. There was a little cubicle in the middle of that square out there where the sound and lights were controlled from. you know, and the dressing rooms are right over here in this corner, and they came out of the dressing rooms and they went to the stage, which was right here facing that way. So we could fit about 400 people in here. We had fire marshals at this door all the time, you know, wanting to count heads to see how many people are in here before they, you know, shut the place down or whatever. This place was a fire trap and a fire hazard. Every time I was in this club, I was always keeping my eye on the side door, which was in the middle of that wall over there from my cubicle in the sound booth, because if anything was happening, I was running out that side door. I was going to crawl out that side door to save my life as this place burned to the ground.
Yeah, let's talk about what kind of bands played in here. I know Paul Rodgers played in here.
Cry of Love opened for Paul Rodgers here with Neil Schon on the Muddy Waters tour. I recorded that, actually. Took photographs and recorded that, you know. I might have videotape of that as well. I know I got audio, but you know, Screaming Cheetah Wheelies, Ian Moore threw his guitar down here on stage and stormed off the stage, you know, like a pissed off little brat because he couldn't get his technical stuff correct, you know. So Ian Moore was in here, Chris Duarte, Steve Morse, I mean, you name it. All of them, I mean, literally have gone across the stage at this location.
And I was living in Castleberry at the time when a lot of these big names were playing in here. And then right over here was the High Lie. And we're looking at the High Lie right over here, where a lot of, like you said, even the Rolling Stones played.
I think the Stones played there. I can't be certain, but I've heard, you know, rumors and stories, you know, that people talk about all the different bands and artists that played there. But back in the 70s, I heard that Zeppelin, Bowie, and Skynyrd played in that venue right there.
Yeah, so we're looking at a lot of history right here with the High Lie and then Fern Park Station right here. It's just...
I still have a lot of unreleased photographs and, you know, memorabilia and recordings and video and audio from this location right here.
It's kind of like hallowed ground.
Sure is.
What happened to the building here, Kent?
Well, they tore it down, got rid of it, and they opened up Janie Lane's Sunset Strip in downtown Orlando.
I'd like to get in here with a metal detector. There might be something in here, man.
Yep. Well, do you want to go see some of the other...
yeah, let's go check it out. All right, Fern Park Station and the High Lie, Central Florida, over here with Kent Griffith.
On the road.
All right, here we are at a place called, well, it used to be the Joint in the Woods, and I had a guy punch me in the side of my head because he thought I was peeing on his van, and I remember waking up and a bouncer holding that guy back trying to kill me, and I was over here and I was watching, who was it that I told you I was?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you know, I was telling you,
oh, Eddie Money.
Eddie Money. Yeah, I saw Eddie Money out here, and man, and Head East. It was actually Eddie Money and Head East out here, and that was a killer show right here. Mm-hmm. That's the original building, huh?
I got a picture of the Johnny Van Zant band. You see that board going across there in the middle, up at the top? There used to be a door right there. You can still see the outline of the door right there.
Right.
Okay, and there was a balcony right there, and I have a picture in my collection of the entire Johnny Van Zant band standing in that balcony right there when it was originally, you know, the...
oh, wow. This is some history here. I mean, there was a lot of upcoming bands played here. I mean, hey, I wouldn't even be able to remember half of them.
This is another one that was a damn fire trap. I was scared to death to be in this place, man.
Yeah, hard to believe it's some kind of a, what the hell is this place now?
I don't know. It's turned into some kind of a contractor now.
Well, little do they know the history that was in here. Joint in the Woods.
A lot of great shows. And then we go
Is this considered Altamont?
This is Longwood.
Longwood, that's right.
And then we'd go through the woods there to the Big Tree Park.
Okay, so we were just at Joint in the Woods, an old place where a lot of cool bands used to play on the road. Griff Martin, Kent Griffith.